So officially welcome to Team Time, the last Team Time of January, obviously, because this is the last day of January, and I'm super excited. I was telling everyone before we all got in here, please go in the chat and put in, where you're from, so we can all kind of put a place with a name. Let me go into gallery view. We can see everybody. So far, this is who we got. We got people hiding. That's okay. We got Eddie all the way from Florida. And I think, let's see, Robin up in Michigan. Is that right, Robin? I think. So anyway, that's pretty cool. Go back to speaker view. So we got a really structured, very basic. My mama, yeah, I know you're here. I was just saying, you're in North Carolina like most of us. So we got it's a really great Team Time because it teaches a lot of how our structure is built for our business. So I got a slideshow, obviously, like I normally do, so I'm going to pull that up and get started. I'm excited to share this with you all tonight because it's great information to have. So here we go. So keep it simple, coach. The reason I say it is entitled this is because a lot of the times we are huge overthinkers and we try to worry too much about what we're doing here and what we're doing there, and really it's just helping people and really falling back and just sharing our heart for Optavia and the program that we do, and sharing our passion to help other people pursue optimal health. That's really the most basic form of what we do, and something that anybody can do. There's no wrong way. So coaching simplified. So our coaching system is simple when it is followed. It is intended for you to be able to duplicate easily and be low on time consumption. And the reason I wanted to make these points is because a lot of the times when you start sponsoring coaches and stuff like that, a concern that people have is, am I going to be able to do this time-wise? I don't have time for it or whatever. And you all know, when you get started, it's not very time-consuming. As you grow, then, if you want to build a big business, which you don't have to, but if you want to, then it can become something where you need to start probably setting time aside to be able to be very intentional with what you do here. Let me go back. So what we do. So it's very simple. 4 things. We sponsor clients, we support those clients, we sponsor coaches, and then we support those coaches. So if you can get good at those 4 things, then you will be a rock star, awesome health coach that grows a giant business, because that's really the 4 basic things of what we do. So I'm going to break down each one of those a little bit. Sponsoring clients, we do it together. We set up a group message, ideally with your first 3 to 5 clients. And let me just stop there for a minute, because I think it's super important for you to know that no matter where you're at in this business, this is your business. There's no bosses here. There's no quotas. There's no if you don't do this, then I'm not going to mentor you anymore or whatever. There's none of that with this company, and there's none of that in this business. So I wanted to stop and talk into that for a minute, because I am given lots of instructions in this slide, and lots of this is the way to do this or whatever, but it is your choice to do whatever you want to do. If it's your desire to grow, that's what your mentors are here for, and your business coach. If it's your desire to stay right where you're at, that's perfectly fine. So don't ever feel pressured. The thing I love about Optavia, as far as a business goes, is we don't do sales. And so there's no quotas, there's no agendas, there's no boss man. You are your own boss. So I love that about this. So I wanted to make sure I conveyed that before we started talking about all these instructional things. So group message with your first 3 to 5 clients, that's ideal, because we do an apprentice style training. So that way you don't have to start and know how to do everything. It takes a lot of pressure off of you. You have a business coach that knows how to do those things, or that can plug you into a resource if they don't know it. And it's okay not to know everything and be a coach. It's perfectly fine. Your client has no idea what you know or what you don't know. And a lot of times, if you have that support message going, it's easier for your business coach or your mentor to see what your client needs and be able to give you the answer so you can give it to your client. That's the ideal way to go about it. The great thing about that type of training that we do, and that we do team coaching, is that you don't feel alone. Your client has an added layer of support, so that way they know another person is there. So even if it's just, they're not big, they're very private, or they don't want to be active in the Facebook page, then you at least have your health coach and then business coach that have 2 layers of support for that client, so they feel supported. You get to learn on an as-needed basis. So like when you become a health coach, then we could just throw like 5,000 different things at you and be like, all right, you're a health coach, good luck. But what we ideally like to do is to partner with you. And so that way we can give you what you need when you need it, because otherwise it can be a little overwhelming to get all the information. And just since we're talking about sponsoring clients, just wanted to pop in here and talk about the client acquisition bonus, and we'll talk more about that later. But that is, if you are a brand new coach and you sponsor 5 clients in your first 30 days, then you get a $100 bonus from Optavia. So that's pretty cool. So how? We've done lots of trainings on this, but just kind of some overviews. You share your results. That's what inspires people to get started. Please, try not to message back and forth all day. Always be trying to move the conversation to the phone. Somebody, and I know because I was guilty of this myself, but they will message you all day long, but not sign up. And then you've put all that time into messaging someone on Messenger all day back and forth. I typically say, let me stop sharing see. So I will typically say, how can I help you? What are you looking to achieve with your health? If they want to lose weight, awesome. How much weight do you want to lose? And then once they say that, I'll say, well, I can definitely help you with that. Are there any medical issues or any medications or concerns like that I need to know about? And they will tell me. And then I say, great, I think there's a couple of versions that'll work for you. So let's talk on the phone for 15 or 20 minutes when you get time. What that does is it separates the people that are ready from the people that aren't ready. And they just want to take a bunch of your time and try to maybe even just know what you're doing. They don't really want to do it. So if they're serious, they'll go on the phone. If they're not serious, a lot of times they'll message you for hours and then they don't sign up. And so it's okay to keep a relationship with those people, obviously, but it's so smart to just say, hey, when you have time, let's talk on the phone, because if they're serious, they'll get on the phone with you. So I just want to talk about that real fast. All right. Avoid saying Optavia in your posts. And so this is, like, once again, this is just best advice I can give you for being in the business for the last 2.5 years. When you say Optavia in your posts, what do you think people do? They go to Google and they Google Optavia. And that's not the worst part. The worst part is that they can go to Optavia and sign up, and Optavia will assign them a coach from their area, or they put in like an area code and it pops up a bunch of coaches. Well, if they don't know that you're a coach, they just think you're doing the program, they might just sign up, and then you've missed the opportunity to be able to coach your friend that saw your transformation and was inspired to do the program. So that's why we like to, say we're doing a nutrition program or, whatever healthy lifestyle program, however you want to word it, but we don't say Optavia because people will just Google it and you'll never hear from them. And you never get the chance to have that relationship with them. So it's not your hands getting slapped. This is just the best way to go about it, from not just me, but from years of leadership in the company. So when you're sharing on Facebook, this is just a quick tip. Don't click share. Like if you see a post that you love, don't click share and share the post. Facebook, the way the algorithms work, like as many people don't see it. People won't see that post because Facebook puts it lower in their algorithms when it's a shared post instead of it being like your original post. So if it's the image or the picture that you love, like copy that picture, paste it into your Facebook page yourself. Change what it says a little bit to make it personal to you, and that will connect with so many more people. And a lot of times people know if you're just copying and pasting posts. So try to avoid that. And certainly, if you need help with that or, kind of instructions on that, we can help. And we'll ask for help. That's why you have us. All right, supporting clients. So following the system, the Google Tracker, or whatever works for you. I love the Google Tracker. The Google Tracker has everything in one place. So I can do everything. I can pull my whole business up, look at it on the Google Tracker. The Google Tracker is something I can take with me on my phone. So I am a huge advocate for the Google Tracker. That being said, you can run a very successful business without a Google Tracker. So if you don't like the Google Tracker, just find a system that works for you. That's okay. Whatever works for you. I think these are, in my experience, are the 4 non-negotiables for excellent client support. As you have the journey kickoff call, the night before they get started. And before that, you send them the journey kickoff video that's in the Google Tracker. And that way they get a video talking about the important stuff like the lean and green meals and, their condiments and healthy fats and all that stuff. And so they understand that before you get on the phone, because otherwise you're going to be on the phone for a long time. Your journey kickoff call should be like a 10-minute conversation tops. So if you're taking longer than 10 minutes, maybe consider sending that video so they already know what they're doing beforehand. At least one check-in via phone on week 1. Recommendations are really higher than that, but I think that person needs to hear your voice at least once in that 1 week period. Day 3, day 4, whatever. Like just at some point, like try to reach out to that person and talk for them. And once again, this is a quick like, hey, I just wanted to check on you, see how you're doing. If it's day 4, day 5, you can say you feel like you're in fat burn. That's great. Okay, I don't want to take a lot of your time. I just wanted to see how everything was going. We're going to talk again on like day 8, day 9 for your week 1 tip call. And I do think that is non-negotiable. That tip call is so important to identify if there's little things that client's doing that they don't even realize they're doing, that we can course correct in that first week and help them stay on program strong and stay in fat burn strong. And then last, integrate into all 4 components. And so this is probably our biggest job, is to help our clients integrate. And what we mean by integrate is the fueling plan is what everybody gets. So everybody gets fuelings. They start with fuelings, and then they get you as a health coach. So they got those 2 components. But we want to make sure we're also integrating them into the Habits of Health system. So that means they get the book when they place their first order, and that we're making sure we follow up with them and make sure they're actually reading the book. And the reason for that is because that's how they're going to gain knowledge to be able to have lifelong health. They will not be able to sustain what they're doing if they don't have the knowledge from that book. Then we have the Habits of Health calls on Wednesday nights. So send little reminders out. They actually get an email reminder every week from me, but especially your clients that they're engaged and you're in contact with them regularly, it doesn't hurt to send them a reminder and be like, hey, are you going to be on the Habits of Health call tonight or whatever, just check in. And then lastly, the community of support. So are they involved in the Facebook page? Are they active in the Facebook page? Do they know about the Facebook page? Do they know they can get recipes in there? Whenever they're asking for things that that there's a post in the Facebook page about it, tag them in the post. Don't give them the answer through Messenger. Like direct them to the Facebook page because that involves them in the page. And there's lots of inspiration and encouragement, but there's also lots of practical things in the page like recipes and tips and fueling hacks and that type of thing. So that's a huge, huge piece of what we do. And then last, in addition to the community for the Facebook page, we have the registered dietitians and the behavioral specialists and the doctors that work for Optavia. So that's where we go back to the beginning, and you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to know everything to be able to help people. We have the experts. They're employed by Optavia. You are a health coach. You're an independently licensed health coach. You have your own business. We get to utilize all these resources through Optavia to make our life easier, but also make sure all the clients that we have are getting everything they need, because as a health coach, you are not everything they need. They need the behavioral part. They need the dietitian's part. They need all the parts to be able to be successful long term. So, went backwards. So, client support. So, I just want to touch on commissions while we're here. A lot of people kind of shy away from the commission plan because of all the numbers everywhere, because it keeps going away. It's really not complicated to me, so I'm going to try to explain it. This is your base commissions. So if you look here at client support commissions, 15% is what everybody makes across the board minimum. So when you start as a brand new coach and your front line is less than $1,200, you make 15% on every client's order. As your frontline volume increases, your 15% never increases. Good grief. Oh, there it is. So your client support bonuses are what increase. So once you cross $1,200 in volume, you get, what is going on? Okay, you get a 5% bonus. Once you cross 24, you get 7%. And then you can see 9, 11, 13. And then certification. If you don't know about certification, certification is an exam you take. It's 100 questions, I believe. It's been a while since I took it, but it's a $200 exam that you take. When you pass the certification exam, you always get a 3% bonus. So no matter what your frontline volume is, you'll always get 3% extra. So that's where your maximum client support compensation comes in here. So 18%, and then all the way up to, once your frontline volume is at least 6,000, you will get 31%. So do the math. We get compensated very well. So if you have $6,000 in orders, you're making 31% of that. That's a lot of money. So that's why, you can make the money that you make as an Optavia coach, is because we are well compensated and it grows with your client base. But I'm going to show you a little bit too that it plays into having coaches as well. And so this is not the only way that you make money with Optavia. This is your base client's compensation. So sponsoring coaches. The ratios with Optavia are, for every 5 clients, you will have 1 coach. So if you only have 5 clients, I promise you have a coach in there somewhere. Over time, that'll work out. If you have 20 clients, you're going to have 4 potential coaches for sure. This is like ever since the beginning of Optavia in 2001, like these are the ratios. Like they've worked the math out. And pretty much there's, for every 5 clients, you have 1 coach in the mix. And make sure this too, that we offer everything. So we offer optimal health in body, but also mind and finances. We offer the full trilogy of health. And that's what I mean when we say, like, if you have a coach that's doing great on program, but you know that they're struggling to pay their bills every month, then health coaching is a great option for them, because they can create they can create income and really get some better health in their finances. So that's where we're talking about that. Or if you have a client that you're talking about exploring coaching with them, and they work 70 hours a week, and they make good money, but they work 70 hours a week. Well, they don't really have a healthy mind, because they most likely, well, you should ask them if they enjoy working 70 hours a week, and maybe they do. Most people would not enjoy working 70 hours a week if they knew there was a different way. So if they can become a coach and free up some time and not have to work 70 hours a week, that's life-changing for people. So that's where we say we offer that full health trilogy. And you can see the most popular reasons people coach. Accountability is huge. That's why I became a coach. Help their friends and family, and then obviously supplement income. Sponsoring coaches. So like I said, life-changing health becomes life-changing income. So really, health coaching is a very natural next step in someone's process from unhealthy or non-sick to optimal health. And the reason that is because of all those pieces. It's not just about getting their body healthy. What are they going to do next? If they're scared, when they go into maintenance, that they're going to have problems staying focused or staying on program, then coaching is huge accountability for that person. Coaching can change everything for that person, because it keeps their mind on what they're doing, because not only is it about them, but it's about the people that they're helping now too. So that's where coaching comes in and becomes that natural next step in the area of finances, but also, like we talked about earlier, in the area of having some freedom, or even like being able to go on vacations. I mean, somebody the other day wrote on my Facebook that they're like, vacation, what is that? I haven't had a vacation in like 10 years. I would be very sad if I hadn't had a vacation in 10 years. But the truth of the matter is the busyness of life, and everybody's situations are different. Not everybody can afford to go on vacation. So this could be a life-changing thing for them, that they actually can go on vacation, take their kids, because people need vacations, like just a break from the world sometimes. Just to give you an example of like pay here, a brand new first month senior coach makes about $500 once they sponsor 5 to 6 clients. Executive director, so we skipped a few ranks, but we'll talk about that more in a little bit. Senior coach is like your big first milestone, and then executive director is like your second big milestone. It doesn't mean that manager and associate director and director aren't important. They're very important, and it's awesome. You're helping change lots of lives. But just from a income standpoint and like a growth standpoint, these are more your milestones. So executive director makes around $1,500 to $3,000 per month. And I put this in there. At this point is where, if you haven't yet, then start sponsoring coaches, because this is where your business grows really fast. Once you hit that point and you start bringing on coaches, and then they start becoming senior coaches and all that stuff. It's kind of a beautiful thing the way it's set up. National director, looking at around $5,000 a month. Global, around $10,000 a month. And then presidential is just boom, like mind blown. It's stupid income. I mean, the thing I want to say about this, and this is just my opinion, but I posted about this the other day, is just, most people come in this with a heart to help people, and not, their goal isn't really just to make lots of money. So as your income increases with this, try to be very mindful that you are being more abundant with it, and not just, spending more money. And that's where we talk about like getting lean with our finances. Like, having healthy finances doesn't mean just having more money. Having healthy finances means being okay with less and being a great steward of your money. So we're all learning that. So that's not a judgment for me. That's something that like Kelly and I are learning too. So I just wanted to share that with y'all. All right, coach compensation. So this gets where people get a little confused, but I just wanted to show you real quick. So this would be your team, and this would be you. So if you're a senior coach and you have a brand new coach, then you make 4% on their clients. So as your new coach comes on and starts signing up coaches, then this is the percentage you make on the clients that they sign up, if that makes sense. So then you can see, if you're, all the way up to, if you're an executive director, when you sign up a new coach, you make 12% on every client they sign up. So until they hit senior. And then you can see how these, break down and drop down. So if you're a manager, you make more. If you're associate director, you make more. And then you can see like this. So like if you're a manager and your coach becomes a manager, you don't make anything, because they make it all. That's why the incomes are like that. And you can get outranked, as a coach. And, we're going to dwell on that too long, because it doesn't really happen that often, but it does happen. So this is where, like, not just having one coach is important, like sponsoring more coaches and more coaches, because every coach you have, usually builds up your rank. And we'll talk about that in a minute. But you can see, even as an executive director, when someone becomes an executive director, you don't make this base compensation anymore on them. You get a ED generation bonus. So we'll talk about that too. I'm going to stop here for a second. Does anyone have questions on that last slide about how you get paid on your coach teams? Let me look in the chat. Anyone? Okay. A lot of people get confused on that one, so I wanted to make sure you understood it. So this is what I'm going to show you. Like, once you get into leadership, you get extra bonuses on top of your commissions. So this is on your whole, like the whole business. So as a regional director, you make 2.5% on your executive director. So a regional director is an executive director that has an executive director as a coach under them. So they make 2.5% on their executive director under them's clients. So that's how that works out. And as you can see, like, the higher your rank goes across the top, the more generations you make. So like me, for instance, I'm a global director. Excuse me. So as a global director, as a global director, then I make 4 levels deep with EDs. So if my coach becomes an ED, their coach becomes an ED, their coach becomes an ED, and their coach becomes an ED, I still make money all the way down. But only this 2%, but it ends up, adding up. And then you can see as a presidential director, you make 6 levels deep. So that's when you start getting into leadership and the higher ranks. That's how you get additional bonuses on top. And then there's still more. So just bear with us here. I wanted to explain these things because it matters that you know how you make your money. So this is the coach consistency bonus. So back in the beginning when we talked about being certified, that gives you a 3% bonus always. So certification will give you a 3% bonus forever. In addition to that, it qualifies you for this coach consistency bonus when you become certified. And so just breaking this down a little bit, you see this number, this would be your frontline volume. So for every 3 months that you have at least $2,000 in frontline volume, Optavia will give you a $250 bonus. If your average is $4,000 in frontline volume for that 3-month period, you get a $500 bonus. And if your average is $6,000 for that 3-month period, you get a $1,000 bonus. So this is paid out every 3 months. So once every 3 months, you get a $1,000 bonus by being certified if you have at least 6,000 in frontline volume. So whenever we talk or something, if you've come to me and talked about, where do I go? That's where kind of like $6,000 is the threshold. Like you always are striving for $6,000 in frontline volume if it's your desire to grow. You want to obviously go past that so you have some wiggle room, but having at least 6,000 in frontline volume shores up that $1,000 bonus for you. And you can read, if you fall below 2,000 in any month, then you become ineligible for the bonus. So you have to have at least 2,000. And then once you get to 4,000 to 6,000, you can just average that. So you can have a really big month and then a smaller month. Client acquisition bonus, we already talked about it a little bit, but basically you get a $100 one-time thing. It's only one time ever. When your first 30 days of becoming a new coach, then you get a $100 bonus from the company if you sign up 5 new clients in that first 30 days. There's also assist bonuses. So that client acquisition bonus that coach gets, you get an assist bonus. So if you bring on a new coach and they sign up 5 clients in the first 30 days, not only do they get $100, but you get $100 for assisting them. The reason the company does that is because, like I told you before, your first 3 to 5 clients, we should be doing everything with you. So helping you do those things. And, if you have a new coach is a new coach themselves, then a lot of times it's your business coach that helps you with those things. And that's okay. That's why we team coach. But that's why we do the first 3 to 5 with you. So we're doing a lot of the work trying to help you understand how the skills work. There's also team growth bonuses. So you can make on different levels. That's the other one I talked to you about with the manager and ED and all that stuff, like the different percentages. There's also a fully integrated business coach consistency bonus. So you can read, but break it down. Like an executive director who is certified and has 5 senior coach teams in their business, they're considered a fully integrated business coach. So once you hit that milestone and you have the volume, $6,000 in frontline volume, $15,000 in group volume, you're an ED who's certified, then you also receive another $1,000 bonus every 3 months. So if you do certification and you're running a $6,000 frontline volume and you bring on 5 senior coach teams, you get a $2,000 bonus, not in addition to your base commissions. You get a $2,000 bonus every 3 months. And then back to these leadership bonuses. So once you hit a national director, you get a national elite bonus. Global director is a global elite, and presidential director is a presidential elite. So this pays out on your whole entire business. So as a national director, you would have to have 3 executive director teams to be a national director. Once you do that, you make all your base commissions and your team growth and all that stuff commissions. And then on top of all of that, you get another 0.5%, which may not sound like a lot, but as you grow a big business, you're talking about hundreds of dollars starting out. That becomes thousands of dollars. It can grow pretty quickly. So and they all add up. So, you know, at the end of the day, you're getting 1.5% of your business. So just think, you know, someone like Charlene, who is my coach's coach, she, I don't know what her group volume is, but you know, her rank and everything, she's probably running around $1 million group volume. Well, 1.5% of $1 million is still a lot of money. So don't, you know, when you get up there, it doesn't sound like a lot, but it is a lot. So this is the rank. That's what you're going to come back to. So rank for us is a point-based system. And so the reason I tell you this is it's a cumulative thing between the amount of clients you have and the amount of coaches you have. So you'll max out at, you know, points with just clients and not be able to outrank executive director with clients alone. So if you want to go beyond executive director, then it's necessary for you to start bringing on coaches. And you can see, so a new coach, $12,000, 5 order entities, becomes a senior coach, and then manager, 2 points, because every $1,200 in frontline volume is 1 point. So manager would be $2,400 in frontline volume, because that would be 2 points. Associate director would be 3 points, director's 4 points, and then ED is 5 points. And then you can see you get into the executive ranks, integrated executive director, that FIBC, that's what we talked about earlier. So fully integrated business coach, regional director, and then integrated regional director. Okie doke. That's it. Lots of rank, lots of numbers. So who's got questions? Anyone got questions about anything we talked about? Nothing? We're all good? Here, let me go to gallery. Do you get certified? So usually we recommend you getting certified once you hit manager rank, because what will happen is once you get certified, you're going to, you know, be able to make 3% on $2,400. So then you're going to be getting some of the money back from where you were paying to be certified. If you wait till month like 3 of being in there, like, so if you were a manager in November, December, and now January, and you get certified this month, then you're going to pay out that bonus in February. So you'll earn it in January, and then it pays out in February. So usually your 3rd month of being at least a manager rank is where you definitely want to get certified, like no doubt. But before that, you can get certified at any time. So anytime you get certified as a health coach, you will earn an extra 3% always. So great question. Anyone else got a question? Nope. All right, cool. Well, I'm excited y'all got on tonight. I know that was a bunch of like structural stuff about how our business grows, but I think it is important that you understand how some of that works and how you can grow your business. We get lots of questions all the time. You know, what does it mean if I get a health coach under me? Well, that's where it's at. It's in the compensation plan. And so it's important to know how those things works out. And if you get a new coach under you that then is going to have a client that we're going to be your client, but now are they going to be your coach's client? You know, like obviously you have to work, you just decide what you want to do. But whenever you have a coach under you, it still benefits you for them to have a client, is what I'm trying to get at. So it's okay, you know, for that to happen, because we all end up having mutual friends and stuff like that, especially, you know, when we sign up coaches that are our friends and they become our coaches. So then we have the same friends. So where do you go with if someone wants to sign up? So anyway, all right. Well, thank you all for jumping on, and I hope you have a great night and a great weekend. And I'll see you up here, Sarah. That's awesome. Sarah just signed up a client a little bit ago. She's doing great. So keep getting at it and reach out if I can help with anything. Talk to y'all later.